Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, Commander Captain Green. Officer in Charge, SERE, Commander Donner. And Submarine Commanding Officers, Commander Meyer, USS Miami, Lieutenant Commander Naval, USS Topeka. Fellow Chiefs, both active and retired, submarine veterans, family and friends, thank you for sharing this day with us. Oxy and Leonard. The ceremony in which these newly selected chiefs are participating today is a unique within the military service and a proud tradition in our Navy. You are not just present for the advancement of 9 first-class petty officers to the next higher pay grade, but also to share in the most significant transition that they will ever make in their Navy careers. The pinning of these anchors and the presentation of the covers are symbolic and representations of all that has gone into getting them to where they are today. Their hard work, both in their technical specialties and the military aspects of their profession, have culminated in the selection as a Chief Petty Officer in the world's finest Navy. However, this day is anything but the end of their journey. In a true sense, it is the beginning of a course that will take them to higher heights and deeper depths than they have ever known before. But they are not alone. Over 100 years of Chief Petty Officers have gone before them, set the course, and provided the navigational aids to assist them in these newly selected Chief Petty Officers in charting and steering their own headings. These fine sailors are inheriting the proud tradition of the exclusive fraternity of Chief Petty Officers, men and women who stand for their right in America and have placed service in our country above all else. I would like to introduce these newest members of our Chiefs Mess. Well, almost. From your right to left, from the USS Topeka, Chief Select Portland. From the USS Miami, Chief Select Diamante, and Chief Select Houston. From SERE, Chief Select Bond, Chief Select Crimes, and Chief Select McPartland. From Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, Chief Select Rojas, Chief Select Boucher, and Chief Select Roberts. Today they're joining a proud and strong tradition of Navy Chief Petty Officers in our leadership. Before the new chiefs arrived, you noticed a group of chiefs already waiting for them. These are their individual sponsors. Sponsors are key to the new chiefs assuming his duties seamlessly. They are not first-year chiefs, though they have been through many trials and tribulations and now are very wise chiefs. The sponsors have been the one true and open source of information during the induction period, and they stand behind the prospective chiefs today. Just as in a few moments, the entire Navy's Chiefs Mess will stand behind them, support them, and not let them waver. The sponsors will be placed in the cover today, symbolizing the belief that their charge is complete, and that he is a Chief Petty Officer. Master Chief Ty Rock, Chief of the Boat, USS Miami, will now read the frocked.
Good afternoon, Captain Green, Commander Donner, Commander Meyer, and Lieutenant Commander Naval. From Commander, Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, the Officer in Charge of SERE, Submarine Commanding Officers, USS Topeka and USS Miami. To the fiscal year 2014 Chief Selects. Subject, authority to assume the title and wear the uniform of the Chief Petty Officer. Under Reference A, you are hereby authorized to assume the title and wear the uniform of the Chief Petty Officer, effective immediately. Your appointment carries with its obligation that you exercise increased authority and willingly accept greater responsibility. Occupying now a position of greater authority, you must strive with a renewed dedication toward the valued ideal of service with honor. Under Reference A, you will not be entitled to pay and other monetary allowances of a Chief Petty Officer until actually advanced to the pay grade for which you have been selected. Congratulations. Signed this date, 13 September 2013.
Reading the biographies for each chief will be the senior members for their respective messes. From the USS Topeka, Master Chief Glenn Hurdle Jr., Chief of the Boat.
Tanika Borkman and Jacqueline Williams, please join Chief Select Borkman on deck. Pinning the anchors today will be his wife and his cousin. His cover will be placed by his sponsor, Chief Gomez. LeVar D'Angelo Borkman was born on May 16, 1977, and raised on the south side of Chattanooga, Tennessee. He graduated from Howard School of Academics and Technology in 1995. He joined the Navy in September 1995, attending boot camp at Recruit Training Command Great Lakes. He lives in Kittery, Maine with his wife and 6 children. Leandre, 19, Tyree, 19, Tamaya, 17, Kiara, 17, Michael, 16, and Madre, 13. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time, Chief Machinist Mate LeVar Borkman. Now please welcome Master Chief Ty Rock, Chief of the boat, USS Miami.
David Ripplinger, Janet, and David Diamante, please join Chief Select Diamante on deck. Penning the anchors today will be his grandfather, mother, and father. His cover will be placed by his sponsor, Chief Williams. James Diamante was born in El Paso, Texas on December 15, 1981 as Jimmy Hayes. Jim graduated from Eastwood High School on May 19, 2000 and joined the Navy on August 8, where he was then shipped off to Great Lakes for boot camp. Upon completion, he was transferred to Groton, Connecticut and reported for duty at Naval Submarine School. After a year of school, he was assigned to his first boat, the USS Annapolis, stationed in Groton, Connecticut, and spent the next 5 years there, and was also Command Advanced Petty Officer Second Class. He made 2 overseas deployments and a tour on the shipyard while on board. He then went on to be an instructor at submarine school, and during his tour was advanced to first class. In October 2010, he reported on board the USS Miami and made 1 overseas deployment. Jim changed his name to James David Diamante in order to take his stepfather's surname earlier this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time, Chief Sonar Technician, James David Diamante. Chief Select Houston, would you please join Donald, Joe, Tabitha, and Isabella down on the deck. Penning the anchors today will be his grandfather, father, wife, and daughter. His cover will be placed by his sponsor, Chief O'Donnell. Patrick Houston was born December 14, 1982 in Emporia, Kansas. He graduated from Emporia High School in 2001. And enlisted in the Navy July 24, 2001. After boot camp, his first command was the USS Augusta. From there, he went to NSSF New London, and then to his current command, the USS Miami. As a special note, Chief Select Houston is being penned by his grandfather, Donald Houston. He served in the Pacific Theater from 1943 to 1947 as a foreman on a Marine Air Detachment on board an American carrier. Recalled to service in 1951 to serve under Chesty Polar for 8 months. So the Chief's Mess would like to have a special thanks to him for making the long journey here for this time-honored tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time, Chief Machinist Mate Patrick Houston. Now please welcome Senior Enlisted Leader from the SERE. Thanks.
Would Cody and CJ please join Chief Select Bond on deck? Pinning the anchors today will be his sons, Cody and CJ. His cover will be placed by his sponsor, Chief Phil. Nathan D. Bond was born May 2nd, 1980 in Candia, New Hampshire, and graduated from Manchester Central High School in Manchester, New Hampshire in 1998. Youngster. Upon completion of boot camp in Great Lakes, Illinois, he attended CEA school in Wichita Falls, Texas. His tours of assignment are with NMCB 40, 31st Naval Construction Regiment, NAVFAC Southwest, SEAL Team 8, NAVFAC Euroswa, NMCB 5, Naval Construction Training Center, and his current command, Center for Security Forces, SERE East. He is married to the former Carrie Benton of Glendale, California, and they have 3 children, Cody, who is 13, CJ, who is 11, and Hunter, who is 4 months old. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time, Chief Construction Electrician Nathan Bond. Would Jamie and Luke please join Chief Select Crimes on deck? Pinning his anchors today will be his wife and son. His cover will be placed by his sponsor, Senior Chief Crowley. John Crimes joined the Navy in 2006. Upon completion of boot camp, he attended Fire Controlman A School and then went on to attend Close-In Weapon System Technician C School. After successful completion of his C School in 2007, he was assigned to the Guided Missile Destroyer USS O'Kane DDG-77, home ported in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. After a successful 3-year tour on the O'Kane, he volunteered for duty in Iraq. While assigned to the Joint Base Balad, he provided counter-rocket artillery and mortar protection to Joint Base Balad. Following his tour in Iraq in 2012, he reported to his current command, SERE East, where where he teaches survival, evasion, resistance, and escape skills to Navy and Marine Corps personnel at high risk of isolation. Ladies and gentlemen, I would present to you for the first time Chief Fire Controlman John Crimes. Richard McPartland and Lee Chamberlain, please join Chief Select McPartland on deck. Pinning the anchors today will be his father and his fiancée. His cover will be placed by his sponsor, Chief Damon. Richard McPartland was born in 1983 in Batavia, Illinois, to Richard and Laura McPartland. He graduated from DeKalb High School in 2001. In August of 2001, he joined the Navy and completed Naval Hospital Corps School. He currently is assigned to Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape School as an instructor. His previous commands include the Naval Medical Center, Little Creek, Virginia, 2nd Marine Division, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, Expeditionary Combat Readiness Center, Little Creek, Virginia, 1st Marine Division, Camp Pendleton, California, and the U.S. Naval Hospital, Okinawa, Japan. He has 2 sons, Julian and Jonathan McPartland. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time, Chief Hospital Corpsman, Richard McPartland. Now, please welcome Master Chief Kent Hope, Command Master Chief, Portsmouth Naval Shipyard.
Sorry, folks, I'm not as dynamic of a speaker as Senior is. Carmen and Veronica, please join Chief Select Rojas on deck. Pinning the anchors today will be his wife and mother. His cover will be placed by his sponsor, Chief Kinney. Chief Select Rojas was born March 17, 1983 in Nicaragua to his mother, Veronica, and father, Roger. He was raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, and graduated from high school in 2001. He attended Navy basic training at Great Lakes, Illinois on August 1st, 2001. His first tour was on board the USS Raven, MHC-61. Forward deployed to Bahrain from November 2001 to November 2003. He was selected to attend Master at Arms A School in Norfolk, Virginia in November 2003. His second tour was Naval Air Station, Key West, Florida. He served there from 2004 to 2007. From February 2007 to February 2010, he was forward deployed to Maritime Expeditionary 2nd Security Squadron 7, Detachment 712, stationed in Guam. After his tour, he then received orders to Swiftland Marine Corps Security Forces Battalion, Kings Bay, Georgia. From March 2010 to June 2013, he He is currently stationed at Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, Security Department. He has 2 children with his wife, Alyssa and Javier. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time Chief Master at Arms, Rojas. Marcel, please join Chief Select Butcher on deck. Pinning the anchors today will be his wife. His cover will be placed on his head by Senior Chief Kimball, and the lanyard will be placed on by his sponsor, Chief Kenny. Chief Select Butcher was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico on May 20th, 1972. He graduated high school in 1992 from Kingston, Michigan. He joined the Navy in June of 1993. In his 19 years of service, his previous commands include USS Simon Lake, AS-33, U.S. Constellation, CV-64, USS Kitty Hawk, CV-63, USS Shipyard, LHD-6, commissioned the USS Green Bay, LPD-20. USS Exits, LHD-2. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time Chief Bosun's Mate, Butcher. David and Isaac, please join Chief Select Roberts on deck. Hitting the anchors today will be his oldest brother and youngest brother. His cover will be placed on by his sponsor, Senior Chief Kimball. Paul Roberts was born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1985. Graduated Brookline High School in 2003. Went to recruit training command in 2004 and trained to be an electrician's mate. His commands include USS Augusta, SSN 710 in Groton, Connecticut. Historic Ship Nautilus, SSN 571. USS Defender, MCM-2 in Sasebo, Japan. Southwest Regional Maintenance Center in San Diego, California, and here at Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, Port Operations, where he operates the tugboats that bring the submarines in and out of dry dock. He is the second of 5 children. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time Chief Electronics Mate, Paul Roberts.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the fiscal year 2014 inducted Chief Petty Officers. Master Chief Glenn Hurdle Jr. will now read the Chief's Creed.
All initiated chiefs, senior chiefs, and Master Chief Petty Officers, past and present, please rise. Attention to the creed. During the course of this day, you've been caused to humbly accept challenges and face adversity. This you have accomplished with rare good grace. Pointless as some of these challenges may have seemed, they were valid, time-honored reasons behind each pointed barb. It was necessary to meet these hurdles with blind faith and the fellowship of Chief Petty Officers. The goal was to instill in you the trust that is inherent with the donning of the uniform of a chief. It was our intent to impress upon you that challenge is good, a great and necessary reality, which cannot mar you, which in fact strengthens you. In your future as a Chief Petty Officer, you will be forced to endure adversity far beyond that imposed upon you today. You must face each challenge and adversity with the same dignity and good grace you demonstrated today, by experience, performance, and by testing. You have been this day advanced Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy, and only in the United States Navy, the rank of E7 carries with it unique responsibilities and privileges you are now bound to observe and expected to fulfill. Your entire way of life is now changed. More will be expected of you. More will be demanded of you, not because you're an E7, but because you are now a Chief Petty Officer. You have not merely been promoted one pay grade, you've joined an exclusive fraternity. As in all fraternities, you have a special responsibility to your comrades, even as they have a special responsibility to you. This is why we, the United States Navy, maintain with pride our feelings of accomplishment once we've attained the position of Chief Petty Officer. Your new responsibility and privileges do not appear in print. They have no official standing. They cannot be referred to by name, number, or file. They have existed for over 100 years. Chiefs before you have freely accepted responsibility beyond the call of printed assignment. Their actions and their performance demanded the respect of their seniors as well as their juniors. It is now required that you be in the fountain of wisdom, the ambassador of goodwill, the authority in personal relations as well as in technical applications. Ask the chief is a household phrase in and out of the Navy. You are now the chief. The exalted position you have now achieved, and the word exalted is used advisedly, exists because of the attitude and performance of the chiefs before you. It shall exist only as long as you and your fellow chiefs maintain these standards. It was our intention that you never forget this day. It was our intention to test you, to try you, and to accept you. Your performance has assured us that you will wear the hat with the same pride as your comrades in arms before you. We take a deep and sincere pleasure in clasping your hand and accepting you as a Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy. In a moment, ladies and gentlemen, you will see a time-honored tradition where the new chiefs will be congratulated and welcomed into the ranks. Ladies and gentlemen, please fall in behind the Chief Petty Officer to shake their hands. We thank you for all your time and attention. This concludes our ceremony. We thank you for joining us today. Receptions are at various locations for each command. Dismissed.
Out that door that way. Yeah, you'll see it as soon as you get in the big hall. Yeah, he is. There he was. He was in Mars. He was in Mars. Okay. If you ever get a chance, you need to go to the World War II. It is very nice. Well, you might. You never know. You never know. Don't know your people. It's okay.